One of the biggest things I get asked as a consultant is, how do I make my own bread? So today I thought I'd do a quick video to show you how I make my bread at home. I use Thermomumma's recipe for a jumbo white loaf. I've done the dough in the Thermomix, which I've let rest for about 15 minutes. So I'm just going to put a little bit of flour onto my Thermomat. And now I'm going to take my prepared dough that's been resting out of the Thermomix. So this is what it looks like now. Now the best way to get your dough out of the Thermomix is to actually unscrew the bottom and let the dough fall out with the blade. So I just push the blade through the bottom. Okay. And that's the easiest way to get most of the dough out of the bowl. Okay, so because our dough has been resting, now what we need to do is actually punch the gas out of the dough so it's quite fluffy now. So you're just going to use your fingertips and you're just going to push it across, and all those little air bubbles, you'll hear that little noise of the air being released. Okay, so once we've got our air pockets out there, then we're actually going to stretch it and pull it over and then just work on it again at this level so that we can get any extra air bubbles out. And then I'm going to stretch it over and do the same again. If it becomes too sticky on your hands, just put a tiny bit more flour, but this is quite fine the way it is now. Okay, now I'm going to give it a little bit of a roll over, and I'm just going to squash it in my hands as I do that. You can hear more air being released in that now. So what I'm just going to do is bring it closer together now and just give it a little bit of a roll until I feel as though all of that air has come out. Just give it a little bit of a roll. Okay, so today I'm going to use the Mackey's jumbo tin for my loaf. You can buy a lid for this tin if you're wanting that perfect sandwich size, but today I'm going to make the rustic loaf, so I'm not going to put the lid on. So what we're actually going to do is cut this into 4 pieces and then put it in our tin. You don't need to grease this tin, you just use it as is, and then you just wipe it out with paper towel afterwards. Just bear in mind that you can't use knives on your Thermomix mat. I bought this little pastry cutter for about $1 from the local kitchen shop. You can use this because it's not sharp. So what I do is cut it in half. Okay, and then we're going to cut it in half again so that we've got 4 pieces. Okay, what we're going to do now is put our 4 pieces in our tin. So we're going to start at the end and put the first piece in, followed by the second piece, followed by your third piece, and then just squash it along if you need to, followed by the last piece in there. Okay, and then you can just give it a little flatten out. Okay, so that's all that's required at this point. Now what we're going to do is put a piece of cling wrap over the top of our bread. And it's a good idea to just use a little bit of spray oil on top of this so that it doesn't stick. So what I've put in here is boiling water into my thermoserver, and I'm going to put a rack on top so that you're getting all of that humidity come up through, all the steam, and I'm just going to put my bread on top of that one, and then I'm going to place a tea towel over the top of this. And I'm going to keep checking on this, and we want that to actually rise a little bit above the tin. I'm going to show you what size you're looking for before you place that in the oven. Okay, so I've got my oven preheated to 180 degrees, and it's now been an hour that I've been proving this bread for. As you can see, it's come up nicely above the tin, which is what we want to do for a rustic loaf. And now this is ready to pop in the oven, so I'll show you as soon as it's cooked. Okay, so I've just got my bread out of the oven. My oven runs quite hot, so I get quite a dark colour on the top of my loaves. But yeah, as you can see, we've made a nice rustic loaf today. I'll wait till this completely cools and then I'll slice it, and we've got beautiful, delicious bread to eat. If you would like to find out more information, I have a Facebook and an Instagram page called Lisa's Thermo Cooking Journey, where I share photos and as many recipes as I can for what I'm cooking lately, and as many tips and hints as I can to get the most out of your Thermomix. I hope that was helpful. Thanks very much.